Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, students of all ages, HollywoodShono here, about to give you another Injustice Gods Muggins video, and we talk about how good is the Cloak of Destiny. As you guys can see here, this is one of the best gear items in the game when it comes to stun mechanics, and this was the original gear item that caused stun mechanics outside of the Fourth World Helmet, the LexCorp Gauntlets, and I believe one of the League of Assassins gear items also has stun on tag-in. But the Cloak of Destiny is obviously the biggest damage increase against stuns, as you do 200% damage increase against stun opponents. The Cloak of Destiny has a base 20% chance to stun on tag-in, and crit boost 50% more damage on crit attacks. So basically, if you crit, you do more damage regardless. This is really good with two-piece LexCorp, because the LexCorp chest plate gives you 70% chance to crit on basic attacks. The LexCorp helmet will also give you an additional 50% damage, and if you're using Special 2s, with the LexCorp set, you can actually heal up quite a bit of damage, and obviously if you crit, you do more damage, and if your opponent is stunned, you do 200% more damage anyway. So for example, a flying punch that would normally hit for 100,000 damage can now hit for 200,000 when the opponent is stunned, and upwards of 300,000 when the opponent takes a critical hit when stunned. So it's a really powerful gear item. Obviously, the characters that have native stun mechanics without having to rely on tag-ins will get the most benefit from that. One of which, of course, is Red Sun Batman. So if you're running Red Sun Batman, you can actually run the Cloak of Destiny on somebody like Red Sun Green Lantern, and then where you're using his Special 2 move, it's probably going to obliterate most people unless it's a Blackest Night Martian Manhunter in the defensive phase. But it is a really powerful gear item, especially if you have characters that can stun. So, what are some characters that can actually stun? As we know, one of the biggest offenders to the stun mechanic is Luchador Bane. Upon tag-in, Bane has a chance to stun his opponent and receives a 25% boost to all damage for 4 seconds. So, the Cloak of Destiny on Luchador Bane is an amazing gear item, as people know. And a lot of people will run the League of Assassins, the Depth Knives, and the Iva Stick, and your Rage Slams are going to do insane damage, and a lot of times, if you get a critical hit, you're just going to one-shot the entire team. Well, you can't effectively one-shot the entire team, but you would get everybody at 1 health, and it'd be very difficult to come back from that stage. Batgirl, in both forms, the first hit stuns. In the case of Cassandra Cain Batgirl, you get 3 smaller hits. In the case of Batgirl, you get 1 large hit, and as we know, all Batmans have stun mechanics on their explosive batarang. Dawn of Justice Batman and Arkham Knight Batman have the most interesting ones because their stun mechanics are from multiple hits. And Animated Batman Beyond is the only Batman that has a single hit explosive batarang. So it's really interesting, but all of them have a chance to stun. So looking at some of the other characters, we can see that also Cyborg Special 1 Sonic Disruptor has a chance to stun. So the characters that activate the chance to stun are not good characters that actually throw the Cloak of Destiny on. Because you're not going to follow up a Sonic Disruptor with a target acquired. You're just going to use a super move. It's not good enough. So you want to try to avoid throwing stun gear on Teen Titan Cyborg. The exception, of course, is Suicide Squad Deadshot, who does once in a while have a stun on combo ender. Even though it's not documented, once in a while you will get a stun. So using this gear item on Deadshot isn't that bad with 2 basic damage items. The big problem you'd obviously run into is Deadshot is not a tank. He definitely needs healing. So Doomsday is also one of the better cards to use the Cloak of Destiny on because he has this gear item that is called the Mutated Bone Spikes, which also gives unblockable chance of basic attacks as well, and that works pretty well. Also, this Doomsday has a 2-hit combo ender that does 150% damage. Arkham Harley Quinn also has that. So using the Cloak of Destiny on Doomsday is sometimes better than a 3rd damage item. Test that if you don't believe me. Now, I'm not sure if freeze mechanics count as stuns. However, Martian Manhunter does have a native stun on his combo ender, which is pretty cool. So, Red Sun Green Lantern is also one of the best passives to counter the Cloak of Destiny because Red Sun characters on Green Lantern's team take 20% less special damage and are immune to stun and crit. This is a very powerful mechanic because if you can't be stunned, the Cloak of Destiny is useless, and if you can't be crit, that does shut down a lot of damage, and this is why I love using the Red Sun team. So, trying to find other stun mechanics, Hawkgirl in her Special 1 also has Mace charge with a chance of stun. So again, you don't want to put the Cloak of Destiny on Hawkgirl. Obviously, you'd probably set up Batgirl with Hawkgirl to just stun with Hawkgirl and then throw Batgirl in and guarantee the stun mechanic. So Rebirth Jessica Cruz also has a stun mechanic on her combo ender. And if you want to know the ridiculousness of the Gauntlets of Azrael, well, you can heal for about 70,000 damage if you get a bunch of crits on a fully augmented Rebirth Jessica Cruz. It's really powerful. So Killer Frost does not have a stunt mechanic. I don't think Lobo does. And Martian Manhunter, one of his random effects is a stun. Pretty badass. So Ravens do not have a stun. Scorpions do not have a stun. Neither does Reverse Flash. Shazam does not. Sinestros do not have stuns. Solomon Grundy, to my knowledge, does not have stuns. Static is really cool because his Taser Trap does stun. So this is one exception where having the Cloak of Destiny on Static is not a bad idea. And the High Gear is also a really powerful special 2 move. So if you have 3 bars on Static, which is extremely easy to get because of Aftershock, having the Cloak of Destiny, trying to use a Taser Trap followed by a High Gear is really powerful. And the Arkham Knight, I believe, does not have stun mechanics. No Flash characters have stun mechanics. So yeah, it's pretty limited who can actually stun, but the native stuns are really cool. And you can see we do have a Red Sun team, Batman, Superman, and Solomon Grundy. We're going to test out in Bonus Battle 6 this mechanic. So basically the idea is we're going to get Superman up to a bar. And we're going to wait for the last person, because you can't actually see the damage. You can see the damage, but if we get a crit with ridiculous effects with the Cloak of Destiny, you're not going to see how much it actually does. So Red Sun Batman triggers the block breaking stun. Now obviously these guys have a lot of health because of Red Sun Solomon Grundy. 45% health is a big deal, and if you don't have Red Sun Green Lantern, it is one of the better Red Suns to use just for adding health to Superman and Wonder Woman. Although if you have Red Sun Batman, that becomes a viable option as well. So let's try to get Superman up to 2 bars. I really want to wipe out Red Sun Superman if we can too. Obviously, having power generation is a big deal. There's the stay down from Red Sun Batman, blocked. Flying Punch gets blocked for 73, 78. We're trying to avoid using special ones because we don't want ridiculous effects. So Red Sun Superman almost eliminated. And there you go. So now we have about 2.5 bars. We're going to wait. And we do have blocking gear on Red Sun Batman. That way he can take some hits. So now we're going to try to trigger a stun from Red Sun Batman. There it is. So we're going to go with the Flying Punch. And 65,336 damage base from a stun Flying Punch. 2,553 XP, 1,950 credits. So the second test fight, we have 2 mystery opponents in Green Lantern.
Begin.
Lex Luthor can prove to be annoying. Luckily, we do have power generation to get to 1 bar before Lex Luthor, so won't be a huge deal. Alright, so you can see how much damage a move does based on the area damage. Obviously, blocked is like 36,000 damage, and I don't know if it was block broken. So we're going to wait for the energy shield to go away. There it is. So we're going to go off another Flying Punch. So 9,383. I'm going to assume they got blocked, and yeah. It's really good when the opponent gets stunned. When it doesn't get stunned, it doesn't really do that much. 3,837 XP, 4,620 credits. So obviously when you're using Red Sun Solomon Grundy, you don't get the insane power generation. And power generation is obviously way better than 45% health. So we're going to throw Red Sun Wonder Woman in for the next test. That way we can get to a bar extremely quickly, as you see right there. So third hit, Flying Punch on Lobo, 37,533, not using the Cloak of Destiny and without a crit. We only have like 24% chance of crit, so critting pretty unreliable. Let's get Superman up to 2 bars. We want Red Sun Batman, so we have 2 shots for a stun. Block Breaker can happen. There it is. Did not stun though. So the Bolt of Lightning hit. Sinestro comes in. Death from above does not take out Red Sun Batman. Explosive battering with no health. We're going to try again because we did not get a stun. And there we go. So Red Sun Superman Flying Punch. 32,668 damage. So again, about 60,000 damage. Now, it's going to be impossible to land a stun on Tag-In unless we can do it from Red Sun Superman. So we're going to try a couple times. Obviously, Hawkgirl would increase the chances of that happening. I would love to see a crit Flying Punch. So you can see the advantage of it. So there is no stun on Tag-In. Obviously, you just have to breathe on the flash and he would get eliminated. And 1 damage, the stun on Tag-In BM comes back, so apparently we were doing all that for nothing. 3,845 XP, 4,690 credits. But it is really fun when you try to stun on Tag-In and then you just eliminate somebody after you burn all their health away. It's pretty stupid, but yeah, that's how it works. Alright, so in the 4th test fight, we have Sheikh Ahmed Habibi, Regime Doomsday, and a mystery opponent. I would love to see a critical hit. Obviously, it's a lot more reliable when you have 50% crit chance versus 24, but we're going to try again. Alright, so Superman at a bar. Let's get out. That's going to be blocked. So we're going to try a battering on Sheikh Ahmed Habibi. And it does stun, so we're going to go with the Flying Punch. Still hits for like 64,000 damage. Let's just get rid of Harley Quinn. Alright, so Doomsday is in. Supernova gets blocked. I would love to see a crit with Superman. We might have to throw on the LexCorp Gauntlets, which would increase our crit chance. And sacrifice a gear in him. So we're going to go off the Explosive Battering again. Doomsday does not get stunned. There he goes. So we're going to go off a Flying Punch again. And 65,000 damage. Apparently I don't have that much crit chance to actually make it work. 3,853 XP, 4,760 credits.
Superman.
Alright, so instead of the League of Assassins Adept Knives, which is obviously a really good gear and with special ones, we're going to throw on LexCorp Gauntlets, which will give us another 30% crit on special one. And hopefully we can get a crit with a Flying Punch as we continue to try to re-augment and get our stuff back. So in the next fight, we have Regime Wonder Woman, Prison Superman, Insurgency Batman. Now we're going to be doing significantly less damage with Flying Punches because we don't have the League of Assassins Adept Knives. I believe it's like 40% less damage. So let's see what Red Sun Superman can do. 31,973 is the base amount here. So let's get rid of Wonder Woman. And of course we get a LexCorp Gauntlet proc. And we're going to go off the Explosive Battering.
The gloves are off. You like discipline.
There's the Stunt. Flying Punch. Just destroys Prison Superman. No chance there. Batman burned it away for a lot more health. Unfortunately, because we didn't have the League of Assassins Adept Knives, we can't actually tell how much damage a move done. So that's a good way you can tell that if a move crits, obviously by using the League of Assassins Adept Knives. So we're going to try to get another stun on Batman. There it is. We're going to go off the Flying Punch. 133,896 damage. And that's, of course, without Batman or without animated Harley Quinn. But you can see the big difference in damage by using the Cloak of Destiny. 3,088 XP, 4,830 credits. So yeah, there's several combinations that you can use for stun on Tag-Ins. As I've said, Luchador Bane is a really good use for it. Cassandra Cain Batgirl or regular Batgirl are really powerful. However, you also can't count out Rebirth Jessica Cruz, who does have a combo ender, and Martian Manhunter does as well. So using the Cloak of Destiny on these characters, including Cassandra Cain Batgirl, is actually a really powerful option. So you can use the Cloak of Destiny on any of these cards. It also works on Deadshot. However, it's a lot less reliable. It's a lot smaller chance than Rebirth Jessica Cruz. But if you use these 4 cards in particular, you're going to get a lot of value out of the Cloak of Destiny. And also, any Batmans also get use out of it since all of their special ones stun. If you like this video talking about how good is the Cloak of Destiny, please give this video a like rating, comment, subscribe. Share this video amongst your friends, and as a favorite, check out my other Injustice Gods Among Us videos playlist, Facebook, Twitter, and Twitch, which are all HollywoodShono. And are there any other gear items that you'd like me to review, or certain combinations on certain characters? Leave your comments down below and let me know what you think. Have a wonderful day, kids.
www.youtube.com/HollywoodShono. Subscribe, bitches!